Hi, welcome to Excel Baby Steps video training program. In this and the next 9 videos, I am going to share with you how to use Microsoft Excel and how to do various tasks. If you are an Excel beginner or if you are somebody who is getting into Excel just in the last few months or few weeks, these videos are going to be very helpful for you. I am doing these videos to celebrate the fact that our twin kids, both my son and daughter, have taken their first steps in the last week. It is such a beautiful and thrilling experience to watch them take their first steps and walk rushingly towards us. So to celebrate that joy, I am doing an Excel baby steps series. This is a very simple videos explaining Microsoft Excel in layman terms, hopefully, and help you get started. So let us get started. This is how Microsoft Excel would look like if you have opened Excel without opening any workbook in it. Of course, by default, most of us would see a blank workbook as well. But this is pretty much it. This is what Microsoft Excel looks like. I'm sure many of you are already familiar with this window and you already know why Microsoft Excel is used. But if you are not, let me just explain. Microsoft Excel is a spreadsheet program used to collect and process and display some type of results based on your data. It is like as kids we are used to, I think some of us even use those kind of notebooks even today, grid type of notebooks where a grid is shown, so you can put in any numbers or data anywhere and you can play with them. So this is basically what Excel is. Let us create a new workbook. I have an icon right here in this area. This is called as quick launch bar. You may see a lot less icons here than I have because I work with Excel a lot. I have added so many more icons here. But you can create a new workbook by clicking on an icon that looks like this, or you can do this one. You can also press Ctrl N. So let me do that and I get a new workbook. By default, Excel will create a name for it. It says book 1 or book 2 or something like that. And then the worksheet name is given here. So this whole thing is called as workbook. Each sheet here is called as worksheet. So by default I have one sheet. Some of you may have 3 sheets. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Let us understand Excel a bit more by doing a simple file. You can select any sheet by clicking on that. So now I have selected sheet 1. So let us make a simple worksheet where you can track your expenses. Whatever you spend, you will track. So in order to track expenses, what are the things that we need to know? Maybe some kind of date on which you spend that money, and then something like what is it that you spent on. Okay, as you can see, it is a grid like structure. Each box is called as a cell. You can type anything in that cell and you can use the arrow keys to navigate. So here I am pressing the right arrow key, down arrow key, left arrow key, and then up arrow key. Okay, so you can use the arrow keys to navigate. You can also select a bunch of cells by dragging. This is essentially the way you use Microsoft Windows or any other window based operating system. That's how you use them. Most of these things are quite intuitive, so you need not worry. The third column, let us keep it as how much. Okay, and we will enter some data here. So these are 3 columns. What I have done now is using B, C, D, I have selected them. So I have clicked on B and then dragged. This is how you can select multiple columns. At this point, some things might become even more clear to you. For example, each cell in Excel has an address. So this cell, that one that currently selected, which has a black border around it, has the address E3. At any point, if you are on a cell, you want to know the address, you can look at this thing. Alternatively, you can determine the address yourself by looking up the column name, which is E, and the row name, which is 3. So E3 is the address. Okay. So how much? Now, as you can see, this cell contains what is it that I spent on, but we are only seeing a bit of it because the width is not sufficient. You can fix that by putting your mouse pointer between C and D and then dragging it like this. So you have increased the column width. A very quick handy tip here is that you need not drag it. You can just place your mouse pointer between C and D and double click. Excel will automatically adjust the width of column to its contents. Let us do that for column D and column B. Of course, when we enter some dates, it may not be sufficient, so maybe this width is good enough. Then let us put 1st August 2010. As soon as you enter a date, Excel realizes that you have specified a date value and it automatically aligns the content and formats the date. In this case, my date system is set to the format of DD-short month -year in last 2 digits. So I see it as AUG 10 rent, and I have paid rent as 2,700. Okay, 1st August 2010, made salary, and we paid the maid, sorry for that, 1,400. So at any point of time you can start typing, and if you want to edit the value, you can, let us say it was 1,400 but in your case it is 2,800. You can just start typing the value and Excel will replace. But if you want to edit a particular portion of the cell, you can use this function key F2, select a cell, press F2, and then use the arrow keys to navigate, or delete backspace key, and then type whatever you want. So this is what a basic Excel file looks like. We will use more of this in the next videos, but in the next 2 minutes let's quickly understand how to use this overall thing. At this point, a good thing to do would be to save your work. So at any point you want to save, you click this floppy disk icon. It might be a bit archaic for people who have not used floppy disks. I had the fortune of using them, but some of you may not. So you can also press Ctrl S key, or you can use this save button from the office button. So this little orb here is called as office button, and let us save. Excel will prompt you to specify a location. Depending on your operating system and the kind of stuff that you're using, it might first steps, and I'm saving it. Let us not worry about file formats and everything for the time being. Then here is this thing is called as a ribbon interface. Let me just okay, this area is called as ribbon. The ribbon is a familiar area where you have all the functionalities that you can do with Excel are available to you quickly with clear descriptions and big icons to help you do stuff. Some of the things that we do most common are cut, copy, paste, and setting the fonts and using these colors and things like that. So all these are shown very clearly in the ribbon. There are multiple ribbons. Let me just disable this, and there are multiple ribbons. There are around 6 to 7 ribbons shown by default. So you have an insert ribbon using which you can insert images, shapes, and charts and text boxes and stuff like that. You have a page layout ribbon using which you can format Excel sheet for printing. You have a formula ribbon using which we can type formulas. Then there is a data ribbon which is used to connect Excel workbook to other softwares like Microsoft Access or get data from a website and things like that. There is a review ribbon using which you can add some review functionality to this Excel. For example, if I'm sharing this with my wife, I would like to add a comment here saying, is this correct? And when my wife opens the file, she will see a red color arrow here, and she points the mouse there and she will see a cell comment saying, is this correct? She can update it or she can leave it blank. Then there is a view ribbon using which you can set up the ways this spreadsheet is shown. For example, you can go to full screen mode and things like that. The developer ribbon is something for advanced users, so let us not discuss that. I hope you have enjoyed this short video explaining Excel's functionalities. I will see you in the next video where we will learn how to use Excel's formatting functionalities. Thanks, bye bye.